So what else is out?
Well, when we were doing Salem's Lot, I said fine. You said, I think we need something a little more than fine. So,
Yes.
Timestalker, new movie from writer, director, star, and all-round polymath Alice Lowe, one of the co-creators and stars of Sightseers, who made her directorial feature debut with Prevenge. She made that while she was heavily pregnant. She then edited the film whilst breastfeeding, did a brilliant job. This is her follow-up feature, second feature, an ambitious time-traveling anti-love story in which Alice Lowe's heroine meets the man of her dreams in several periods of history, from rural 17th century Scotland to the present day and beyond. Lauren Barnard is the object of her affection, or more accurately, her obsession. She is convinced that they are made to be together, even if, no matter when she meets him, he has no interest. Every time her character meets his, throughout history, their interactions are doomed to failure, usually doomed to failure with her dying in a number of squishy ways, including axe in the face and decapitation by a horse-drawn carriage. Throughout, she is accompanied by Tanya Reynolds' Meg. Sometimes she's a servant, sometimes she's a friend, sometimes she's something a bit more than a friend. Here's a sequence from the 1980s in which the dream man is now a new romantic pop star who dresses, weirdly like the dandy highwayman that she met in a previous incarnation when highwaymen were a real thing. Once again, Meg is by her side. Here's a clip.
Agnes! I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been changing my fate.
Really? Looks like you just, I don't know, had a perm?
Do you think it makes me look like Barry Gibb?
I'm not sure who that is.
Aslan?
No.
The Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, it makes you look like the Cowardly Lion.
Do you think you'd recognise me if you hadn't seen me for a really, really long time? Like 200 years.
Come on. Sisterhood can carry on without me.
So basically,
That's funny.
Yeah, it's good, and that's a kind of that's a rather sort of that is a clip that is very much like the tone of the movie. We were recently talking. There was somebody wrote in an email about the new wave of female helmed horror films. Jennifer Kent's Babadook, Julia Ducournau's Raw, Titan, Rose Glass's Saint Maud, and Lily Amerpour, Girl Walks Home at Night. Prevenge was definitely part of that wave because it was a really sort of genre literate film. It was all these nods to like Zuofsky's Possession, and it was also gruesomely funny. So after Sightseers and Prevenge, there was this interview with Alice Lowe in which she said that in the work she'd done, she'd killed a lot of people on screen, and it was time she killed herself on screen instead, which happens several times in Timestalker. And again, it's very cine literate. It's got like nods to everything from Witchfinder General to Barry Lyndon to Olivia Newton-John's video for Physical. And the title is the key to it, because the thing is, she is a stalker. I mean, she is every bit as much of a stalker as the Sandra Bernhard character is in King of Comedy. She's also a deluded fantasist. She's got this absolute belief that whenever she meets this bloke, he is the bloke for her, even though he's not interested. And deluded fantasist is a description that Alice Lowe used. I interviewed her on stage just earlier on this week. She said she used it about herself. She said, that's what I am. And also that is what the process of making films is about. The crucial thing is this: you're not asked to like her character. You're asked to see her character, see the world through her character's eyes. I mean, Alice Lowe talked about kind of subverting the monstrous woman archetype by making the monstrous woman the center of the drama. So you see the world through her eyes. And although this is a low budget film, and it is, she's clearly having a whale of a time with the period detail, whether it's the courtly wigs. There's one bit where she's wearing this huge wig and it's meant to look like a heart. And she meets the man of her dreams, and he says, it looks like an arse. She says, no, it's a heart. And then there's all the sort of, later on in the 1980s, there's the dancer size lycra, and there's the poodle perm that looks like the Cowardly Lion. Nick Frost is in it, has a lot of fun with the role of the perennial partner who she keeps ending up with, who doesn't think that women should be educated, but keeps getting himself, tied to her anyway. There's a lovely musical score by Toy Drum, who worked wonders on Prevenge. The color palette is kind of bubblegum goes to hell. It's like pink, purple, and worse. But most importantly, it is distinctively and unmistakably unfilmed Alice Lowe. Nobody else would make this movie. But for her, it makes perfect sense. And I think it's worth pointing out, firstly, in a world in which women filmmakers often don't ever get to make a second feature, it's not only remarkable that she's managed to do this, but it's remarkable that she's managed to do it so much on her own terms. I mean, it's not a film that plays it safe. It's not a film that behaves itself well. It's not a film that thinks, I wonder if we can get that demographic by doing this. No. Alice Lowe does disastrous love story across a series of time periods, and it's funny, and it's sharp, and it's got, there's some horror in there, and there's some science fiction in there, but at the center of it is the self-described deluded fantasist making a film about a deluded fantasist, and clearly having a whale of a time whilst doing it. And I think Alice Lowe is a terrific thing all round. And I think as a second feature, this is kind of like, yeah, wow, because there's just the scope, just the palette is so much wider than it was in Revenge. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. It's called Timestalker. If you see the poster kind of evokes Yorgos Lanthimos, the favorite. And actually, I think there is a bit of Lanthimos in it, but it is absolutely 100% pure distilled Alice Lowe.